So good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. So in the yesterday's session, I covered like software development life cycle and testing life cycle, isn't it? So can we have some quick assessment on the previous day concepts, guys, before we go ahead with the today's session? Guys, able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So Prasad, what is black box testing?
Black box testing is a software testing in which the internal structure, design, and implementation tested is not known to the tester, sir.
Right. So what type of testing is called as black box testing?
Functional testing, sir.
Functional testing, right? So functional testing is called as black box testing because, can I repeat that?
It is the tested against the functional requirements by specifications, sir.
Okay. Correct. Why it is called as black box testing?
Because it is not known to the software developers, sir. It is just only known to the testers.
Now, what is not known to the tester?
The programming codes will be there.
Okay. And what is white box testing?
It is a tester. No, it is a software testing which is known to the tester, sir.
Who does this white box testing?
Software developers, sir.
Developers, right? So yes, why it is called as white box testing?
As developer, it is tested by the software developer.
Correct. So unit testing, actually unit testing is called as white box testing, and it is done by developers, right? Why? My question is, why is it called as white box testing?
Because it is easy to test the system modules, sir.
Okay. No, you are getting confused. Okay. See, unit testing is called as white box testing, and it is done by developers, right? Why is it called as white box testing? Is developers know each and every internal of the application, what language they are using, what code they have developed, and all, right? So that's why that is called as white box testing. But functional testing is called as black box testing because tester doesn't know know anything about the code and all, right? So they need not know about the programming language that is used and all, right? That's why that is called as black box testing. Without knowing anything, you can test it, right?
Okay.
Without knowing about the application, or without knowing about the programming language, or what technology they have used, testers can do that testing, right? So the functional testing. So that's why that is called as black.
After you.
Yeah, what is black integration testing, system integration testing? Alekia, yeah, please go ahead.
Combining different modules and tested as a group, sir.
Right. So from integration testing is something like testing which is done after combining different software modules.
Yes, sir.
Right. That is system integration testing. And in which environment it is done? What is the environment?
SIT, system integration
SIT.
testing.
Correct. System integration testing. Right. So next, what else we discuss? What is performance testing? Jay Lakshmi. This question is for Jay Lakshmi.
Sir, performance testing is a non-functional testing, sir.
Okay.
It is done in engineering environment or test environment.
Okay.
It determines like reliability, scalability, and stability and responsiveness of the application, sir.
Right. Okay. So performance testing is non-functional testing, which is done in test environment, or it is also called as engineering environment, right? So what is the objective of doing performance testing? So it is to determine how, the speed of the or response time of the application, response time, right? That is speed and stability, yes, scalability and reliability of the application. Non-functional testing is done to determine an application speed, stability, scalability, and reliability, right? Now, so I think we stopped here exactly, right? Yesterday we discussed till here and we stopped it, right? Okay, now let's proceed, let's understand more about performance testing, right? And when do we do performance testing? What are the major factors for doing performance testing? So let me present it. Let me go to presentation mode. So there are four major factors for performance testing. The first one is speed, as we discussed yesterday. To check if the application respond quick enough for intended users, means for the users, target users, whether the application is responding quick enough, and response time should be less, right? This is what we check, like how good are the response times, right? When you say speed, we check how good are the response times of the application, means response time of each page of the application, isn't it? And stability is nothing but to check how stable the application is under expected and unexpected user loads, right? Stability is to check how stable the application is under expected and unexpected user load, right? So see, sometimes you may have more than expected load. You understood, right? What is expected and unexpected user load? For example, if you take Redbus application, let's assume that there are 1 lakh users on an average, right? So however, when there is some vacation or something, festival season, there will be more number of users, right? Guys, able to follow?
So
Yes, sir.
So if you take any e-commerce application, right? So, we cannot say like exactly how many users will be logging when there is a sale, when there is some freedom sale or, flash sale. So we don't know exactly like what would be the user load on the application, how many users will be logging to the application. Yes or no? So you might have known this, right? Flipkart or, like couple of years back, like Flipkart and Amazon crashed during some freedom sale or something, because of unexpected user load on the application, more than expected user load on the application. So you might have known this, right? So the Flipkart and Amazon crashed and it causes the application became not responding, right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So that is unexpected user load. Sometimes, we may not be able to expect the user load on the application, right? So stability is to check how stable is the application under expected and unexpected user load. And application performance should not degrade even after using very long time. Means if the application is continuously used for very long time, hours and days, the application performance should not degrade, isn't it? Means application performance should not degrade, means response time should not be high, right? So typically a web application response time should be between less than 3 to 5 seconds. A typical web application response times should be less than 3 to 5 seconds, right? So even when we are using any application for continuously for continuously for hours and days together, so application performance should not degrade consistently, right? Next one. And that is about stability. And then scalability. Scalability means, can the application handle unexpected user load and how does it behave beyond its capacity? So how can an application handle unexpected user load? Suppose there is huge load on the system, more than expected load on the system. Now, can the application handle that unexpected user load, and how does it behave beyond its capacity? If there is more load on the application, how does it behave? Whether it completely stops responding or it gracefully shuts down, or if response times are a bit higher, that is fine, right? But it should not completely shut down. It should not crash. Application should not crash, right? So that is scalability, testing that with unexpected user load and see the behavior of the application beyond its capacity is called as scalability. Scalability means, what is the general meaning of scalability, guys? Scalability meaning in software testing, right? So it is a type of software application to measure its capability to scale up or scale out in terms of any non-functional capability. Scale up means supporting more number of users than the expected user load. How scalable is the application? Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh. So, and reliability. Reliable. Oh, okay. Hold on. I think I missed this point. So this shows application's ability to handle increasing user load without performance degradation. So this scalability tells like what is the application's capability to handle increasing user load without performance degradation, right? Understood, right? So application is scalable means like we can say that it can handle increasing user load without performance degradation. And how reliability is nothing but how reliable is the application, and will users have positive experience on go live. Go live means once the application goes into production, how reliable the application would be, and will users have positive experience on go live once it goes. Go live means once the application goes to production, right? The will users have the positive experience, always have positive experience, that is reliability. So these are the four major factors for doing performance testing, right? Speed, stability, scalability, and reliability. Clear, guys? And we will discuss this performance metrics later on. So let me move on to the next slide. So these are the goals of performance testing, or these are the four major factors for doing performance testing for any application, right? Now, so what are the other factors, right? So I have categorized the goals of performance testing into broadly into two categories. One thing is, why do we do performance testing for an already existing application, and why do we need to do performance testing for a newly built application, right? So let's understand this. Why should we do performance testing for an already existing application? Already assume that there is some application already in production. Then when do we need to do performance testing, right? Do we need, you got it right? Already one application is in production. Production means one application is live, means it has real-time users. Clear, guys? What is you understood what is meant by production? Already in production means,
Yes, sir.
right? So all these applications that we are using, for example, ICICIbank.com, HDFC.com, these are all in production already. Redbus.in or IRCTC.co.in, right? So all these Amazon.in or Flipkart.com, right? So these are the production environments which we are using, right? Clear, guys? And now, when do we do performance testing for an already existing application in production, right? So let's discuss, let's understand, and let's discuss some scenarios. When do we need to do performance testing for a already existing system? Suppose there is some new feature or new functionality added, right? Then we have to do performance testing. I'll give an example to this. Like most of you may be using IRCTC or Redbus.in, right? So, right? So there is one new feature introduced in Redbus. Can anyone tell that? Like in last year, I remember that last year one new feature was introduced. Called
room bookings.
Room booking, yeah, hotel room booking. That was there previously itself. Reschedule ticket. You remember that? Hold on. So are you aware of that? Like, Redbus has introduced a new feature called reschedule ticket. Suppose you booked a ticket and you want to postpone your travel, right? Previously, what you had to do, you had to cancel the ticket and you had to book a new ticket, isn't it? Before this feature is introduced. However, like last year, they introduced this feature called change travel date, right? Change travel date. Suppose you book a ticket, and if you want to, after booking a ticket, you want to change the travel date. So Redbus has started providing this feature last year. Clear, guys?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Right? And in IRCTC, one very good, very important or very useful feature was introduced like a few years back, like 1 or 2 years back. So previously, when we book a ticket in waitlisting, right? So we don't know what is the probability for confirmation. Yes or no? I think in 2020 they have introduced 2020 or late 2019. They introduced one feature called confirmation probability, right? If you book a ticket in a wait listing, So it will show you, application will show you like what is the confirmation probability, right? Or else let me Google it. Yes or no? Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir.
Maybe because of the pandemic, you did not use IRCTC recently in the recent past, isn't it? My system is going 1 second. Yes or no? Do you know that? I know. Have you ever heard of that confirmation probability feature in IRCTC? Hmm?
Yes, sir.
You want me to show that login and show that, please? Right. So see here, suppose if you book a ticket in waitlisting in IRCTC, right? So if you see here, for this date, for today's date, it is in, no, this is for tomorrow's date, right? 24th November. So it is, this particular class is in waitlisting. So suppose if you book a ticket here, right? So previously we don't know whether like, what is the probability of confirmation? Yes or no? Yes or no? But however, like recently, last year or so, I think last year or before last year, in 2019 or early 2020, they introduced this feature called confirmation probability. It will show you the confirmation probability. What is the probability of confirmation? So, okay, leave it. So whenever some new feature is introduced to an already existing application, we have to do performance testing for that application, right? So before that feature is implemented in production, so basically what developers will do is first they will deploy the new code, right? ఈ కొత్త feature add, so whatever code in which this new feature is added, right? New feature or new functionality is added, they will deploy that code into the test environment. First they will do unit testing, and then they will do integration testing, and then functional testing in QA environment, and then performance testing in test environment. So once they test the performance of the application, right, then only that new code will be pushed to production. They will bring that code to live environment. Clear or no? Yes, please respond. I know, like I have to know if I am audible or not. I have to make sure that if I am audible or not.
Yes, clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It is
sir.
clear, sir.
So this is one reason for doing performance testing for an already existing application. And next, increasing number of users or adding new users. So let me give an example to this, right? So everyone might have known that there, previously or in 2020 or so, Kotak Mahindra Bank acquired ING Vysya Bank. How many of you heard this news?
Yes, sir.
Kotak Mahindra Bank acquired ING Vysya Bank. So before this merger, right? So it happened, the merger has today been completed. Oh, in 2015, sorry, in 2015, this merger happened. So before merger, ING Vysya Bank have their own website. Kotak Mahindra has their own website, right? Kotak.com is the Kotak Mahindra Bank website. ING Vysya Bank has their own website, ing.com or ingvysyabank.com. Right? Now let's assume that, before merger, let's assume that before this merger, let's assume that ING Vysya Bank website has some net banking users of some 1 lakh. Okay. ING Vysya Bank has, let's assume that they have 1 lakh net banking users. And Kotak Mahindra is already a big entity, right? And let's assume that they have some 5 lakh users, 5 lakh net banking users, right? Now in 2015, both this, both these banks got merged. Means Kotak Mahindra Bank acquired ING Vaishya Bank. So all the existing customers of ING Vaishya Bank, they will start using this Kotak.com website, right? Post merger. Yes or no? Post merger, Kotak.com website will have 6 lakh users total. 6 lakh net banking users, right? 5 lakh of their own users, 5 lakh Kotak.com users, right? Plus this 1 lakh ING Vaishya Bank users. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? So this is what exactly the case that I explained here. Now they have to test Kotak Mahindra Bank have to check their application to see if their existing application can support these additional users or not. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
there
sir.
is increase in the number of users, or some new users got added, start using the application, right? So in such case also we had, in this particular example, before this merger itself, right? So Kotak Mahindra Bank.com, before this merger itself, Kotak Mahindra Bank.com will test whether their existing application supports that additional new users or not, right? So further, that is another case for doing, that is another scenario in which we do performance testing for an already existing application. Even though it is already in production, they have to test it to confirm that the new users will be supported or not. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? And next important scenario where we do performance testing for an already existing application is whenever there is some major software upgrade like database or OS migration on the servers. So OS migration, let me explain this. OS migration means, you may be aware right now Microsoft has released a new version for Windows, right? After Windows 10, now they released Windows 11, right? Suppose someone is using Windows 10. Let's assume that some client is using Windows 10 on their servers, and now they want to update the operating system, right? But mostly Linux operating system will be used on the servers. I'm just taking an example. So now after migrating to this new version Windows 11, right? After whatever it is, right? After that is called OS migration. OS migration is nothing but upgrading to the latest version of the operating system. That is OS migration. So whenever there is some OS migration on the servers, or whenever there is some software upgrade like upgrading the database, right? So let's assume that a client is using Oracle database and they are using Oracle 12c, which is a old version. Now they want to upgrade it to some 13 or 15 or 18. I think Oracle latest version is some 18 or so. Okay. Okay. So now 21c. Okay, maybe 21c is the latest version of Oracle, right? Or whatever it is. So whether it is 20c or whatever it is. Let's assume that a client is using database version, old version of database, some 12c or 13c. Now they want to upgrade the database, right? So then also what they will do is they will do that first in test environment, test the performance, and then they will make the change in the production, right? Because in production they cannot take risks. So they will first test in the test environment, and then they will verify once they confirm that the performance is good, right? Then they will do it in production. They will reflect that change in the production. Clear, guys? Production environment means whatever we are using, right? As an end user, whatever we are using. For example, irctc.co.in. This is the production URL of IRCTC, right? Suppose developers wrote some new want to bring some new feature. They wrote some new code, right? They will not update in the production directly. First, they will test it. They will do unit testing and then integration testing and then functional testing and performance testing. They will do all types of testing. Like say there are a couple of other types of testing like security testing, penetration testing, and all this. They will do all types of testing, and once they verify that the new code is working fine, then only they will push that code to production. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right? And these are so we are discussing now in what cases we do performance testing for a already existing application, right? So are these examples clear, guys? Adding a new feature or new functionality, increasing number of users, right? So you can answer the question now, right? So when do we do performance testing for an already existing application? One more important scenario is whenever there is some hardware upgrade on the servers, right? So web app and DB servers. We will discuss what is this web application, web server, application server, and database server. We will discuss that in the coming up sessions. All right. But whenever there is some hardware upgrade on the servers also, we do performance testing for an already existing application. Let me give some example for this. Suppose your system, so you are using a laptop or desktop and you want to install some new software, right? And you observe that your right now your system configuration is some 4 GB RAM and so you have some i3 processor, correct? So and let's assume that your system is hanging frequently, right? Let's assume that your system is hanging frequently and you check it that like you currently have 4 GB RAM on the machine and you went for an upgrade. You want to upgrade, add 4 more GB, right? So once you upgrade 8 GB, you will test the performance, right? Once you upgrade the hardware. Yes or no? So
Yes, sir.
you want to know how the performance improvement is whenever there is some hardware upgrade. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So in the
Yes, sir.
same way, whenever there is some hardware upgrade on the servers means on server is nothing. What is meant by this hardware upgrade on the servers? The server machine on which these applications are running, on which your application is running. For example, so hold on. So let me give some example for this. So we'll take the same Kotak Mahindra example, right? Let's say, for example, Kotak Mahindra Bank has some servers with some 32 GB RAM, right? With which they are able to support this 5 lakh users. Let's assume that they are able to support this 5 lakh net banking users previously, right? So whenever it has to support 1 lakh additional users, right? They may need to increase the configuration, server configuration, both software and hardware configuration, right? So 1 lakh new users and definitely there will be more load on the servers, more load on the systems. Yes or no? So in that case, like, they may need to do this hardware upgrade or software upgrade. They need to change the configuration, software configuration or hardware configuration. So whenever there is some hardware upgrade also, we have to do performance testing on the application. Is it clear, guys? Whenever there is some hardware upgrade on the servers. We'll discuss what is this web app and DB servers in the coming up sessions. Are we good so far?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kishore, I have one doubt.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah, Kishore.
Yeah,
So in mobiles, we are getting update requests, right? For any applications or even in Android phones. So sometimes it asking for upgrade, right? Software upgrade. So is this performance testing is applicable for that also?
Yes. So whenever some new feature is added, for example, there is a software update, right? There is a software update. So let's assume you are using an app and there is some developers are releasing some software update. So they will test like before releasing it to production, means before showing it you about the update, right? They will first test it in the development environment, SIT environment, and functional testing, QA environment, and all this. So once it undergoes that all types of testing required, then only like you will see that update will be rolled over.
Okay.
That update will be available. They will make that available to the users and users.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
And what is so now let's understand why do we need to do performance testing for a newly developed application, right? So assume that there is a brand new application and what is the necessity of doing performance testing for that, right? For a brand new application. First and foremost reason is assess readiness to production, means to determine like how ready is it for production environment, means to make it whether the application is good enough to push it to production to go make it live. You understood what is this assess readiness of production environment? And determine capacity of existing systems. Is this clear, guys? Brand new application కి ఎందుకు చేస్తాం performance testing అంటే అప్లికేషన్ లైవ్ లోకి వెళ్ళాలా లేదా డిసైడ్ చేయడానికి how to to determine the readiness of that application to go to live environment, right? And to determine the capacity of existing systems means how many users can it support, right? How many users can it support, how much user load can it support. To find out that, we do this performance testing for a newly built application. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right? And next, creating benchmark for feature systems. Creating a benchmark for feature systems means suppose there is a brand new application and which is developed recently, right? So and this development activities will be going on and on, right? So every month or every quarter they will be releasing they will be adding some new features or fixing defects, software defects. There will be some defects and developers will be fixing those defects and they will test it and they will release it to production. A kotta code ni that new build will be deployed into production environment after testing, right? So to create a benchmark means to create to assess the initial performance of the application. To assess the initial performance of the application, that is called as creating benchmark, right? And what is the purpose of this benchmark? Whenever there is some new code added in future, right, they will compare with this benchmark. They will compare with this benchmark. So why do we need to compare is to know like if there is some improvement in performance or degradation of performance. Yes, is it clear or no?
Sir, how to check that, sir?
We do some initial performance testing and see like what is the user load that it supports. For Kotta application, whenever there is some new application developed, right, we do some initial performance testing to see like what is the user load that it supports, how are the response times and all, right? And we will take that initial performance as a benchmark. So let me give some example in the movie industry. Okay, I'm passing the question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So benchmark is some initial performance of any application. So to compare it with the feature releases of the application. So basically in software development, what happens is, whenever there is a web application right, or a desktop application or a mobile application, so they will be continuously releasing new versions, right? Yes or no? You might have experience, most of you have experienced this, right? So whenever there is some issue in the existing app, mobile app, so that will be rectified in the future releases, right? So you'll see whenever some new release is now, new software is released, you will see that what are the improvements, right? So they will mention there are some new features added or some bugs are fixed in that release and so on. Did you see that, version description anytime?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. New features will available.
So this is a continuous process. The software development is a continuous process. So along with that, testing is also a continuous process. Okay. Next, so for a newly built application, what are the other factors for doing? What are the other scenarios in which we do performance testing is compare multiple platforms. Platforms means here, suppose there is a new application developed. They want to determine what is, where to deploy that. Means server same use, what servers they have to use or what operating system they have to use, whether they have to use Linux. Mostly your web application or desktop application servers will be on Linux boxes, right? They don't use the Windows boxes. Very few applications use this Windows operating system as a server operating system. Linux is the mostly used server operating system. Okay, only Windows is used for like the end users like us, like you and me, right? For personal use, for home purpose, we use this Windows operating system. But for servers and all, right, they will use Linux operating system. And in Linux, there are different flavors of Linux: Red Hat Enterprise Linux, CentOS. There are many other different flavors of Linux. So if development team or if this testing team want to identify which platform would be better, right? Whether a Windows operating system is better or Linux operating system is better. Again, in Linux also you have different flavors of Linux. So which flavor of Linux is better? Which platform is better? To compare that also, we do performance testing, right? Suppose Windows, Linux, if you want to compare performance on Windows and Linux, what we will do is developers will deploy the application in one Windows environment, test it. Again, they deploy it in Linux environment and test it again, do performance testing, so that they can compare the performance of multiple platforms. To do that also, we do performance testing, right? So if you don't guess, how many of you are able to follow? Even if you don't, if you are unable to understand completely, also not an issue, because we will discuss all this. We will revisit this, once we do performance testing, right? So we will discuss this. Okay. Once we do scripting and once we go to test executions, then we will revisit this again. Okay. And compare performance characteristics with different system configurations. Compare performance characteristics with different system configurations, right? See, this applies for anything now, guys, not only for software, for whenever some new product is developed, right? So all this testing will be done for any product. For example, a new car is being released, right? So they will do some road test. Yes or no? They will do some in-house testing, and then they will do some road test also. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know that, right? So they will do
Yes,
some
sir.
road test, right?
Yes, sir.
So here also in software also, before releasing the code into production, it will undergo all this type of testing: unit testing, functional testing, performance testing, right? System integration testing, right? So it will undergo all this testing. Now what we are discussing now, in what cases we do performance testing for a already existing application and a newly built application. That's what we are discussing now. Very important interview question, guys. Right? So compare performance characteristics with different system configurations. With this system configuration means with different software configurations or hardware configurations. Okay. Next, validate any application against its performance criteria. Let's understand this. Validate any application against its performance criteria. So let us understand this. What is performance criteria? Right? For example, whenever there is some software developed, there may be some performance criteria already defined. The performance criteria may be something like this. It should support some 1 lakh users, right? Or suppose there is an ad banking application. Let's assume that some 25,000 transactions. It should support some 25,000 transactions per second, right? So there will be certain criteria for for any application. So this is called as performance criteria, right? Either it can be number of users or it can be the volume of transactions. Got it, guys? So to validate the application against the performance criteria, కొత్త application develop చేశారు. For example, we'll take some newly built application, right? So Flipkart, Amazon are there from many years, but now like recently Reliance came into this same business, right? Yes or no? They launched a new e-commerce application called JioMart, right? Right? And this JioMart may be having some criteria, performance criteria. 1 lakh users use చేస్తారు JioMart అనుకుంటే, developers will be told that you have to build that application, you have to develop the application in such a way that it should support 1 lakh users, right? Or it should support some 25,000 transactions per second. So there will be certain performance criteria for any application. Developers ki they know like they will be given some performance criteria. Now to test whether that that performance criteria is fulfilled or not, application ఆ criteria meet అవుతుందా లేదా చూడడానికి కూడా we do performance testing for a newly built application. Is it clear, guys? Okay, let me take some like we are all crazy about bikes and cars, right? So for example, let's take some Hero Honda is releasing some 250cc bike, right? Now the design engineers or the engineers who are involved in that development of that bike, right, or manufacturing that bike, they will be told something like this. So the vehicle should reach some 200 kilometers per hour in some 5 seconds, something like this. They will have some criteria like this, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? So this is performance criteria for that vehicle, right? In the same way, the performance criteria for software can be something like this. 1 lakh users support cheyali, or it should support some 25,000 transactions per second, right? Now, can you easily relate this performance criteria? What does performance criteria means?
Yes, sir.
So once they develop this 250cc bike, they will test it, right? First, they will test it whether this performance criteria is met or not. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? So in the same way, whenever some new application is developed, right, they will test against the performance criteria of that application. Okay. And next, guys, can I go ahead, or any queries over till here? I'll take a pass here. So can I go ahead, or any queries over here? Yes, yes, sir. No, guys.
No, sir. You may continue.
All good,
Okay.
all good.
Yeah. So the next criteria for doing performance testing is reason for doing performance testing for a newly built application is uncover what components of an application suffer poor performance and under what conditions. Uncover what components perform poorly and under what conditions. Right? What components of an application suffer poor performance and under what conditions. Right? So components means parts of an application. That is in general meaning of component. Yes or no? Component is nothing but part of something, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now uncover means to find out what components of an application suffer poor performance. I will take some example here. We will take the same, the vehicle example. Suppose you bought a new vehicle, right? And you expected, the salesperson told that you will get some 40 to 50 kilometers mileage. Let's say, for example, he told that you will get 50 kmpl mileage, kmpl, kilometer per liter mileage, right? So, and let's assume that you are getting only 30, right? You are getting only 30 kilometers per liter, right? So then what will you do, guys, generally? If you are getting low mileage than expected, what do you generally do? Yes, please respond.
You will complain to the showroom, sir.
Right, you will go to the service
You
center
will
and you
raise.
will complain about
You
the
will
mileage.
raise.
Right? What does he
Yes,
do
sir.
now? So what does he do now? So
They will increase to the mileage.
yeah, they will
Service
tune the engine. For example, they will check what is the reason for that mileage. So no low mileage can be because of, right? What can be the reasons, guys? Low mileage ravadaniki? It can be because of engine tuning. Yes or no? If the engine beating is faster, you will get low mileage. You know that? Most of you know that, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Engine
sir.
fast ga tuning fast ga unte ante, like if engine beating is faster, you will get low mileage. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? Or else what can be the other reasons?
Wait, sir.
If we are using heavy weight, right? And also there can be another reason, few other reasons. Suppose your tire pressure is low, then also you will get low mileage. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Or if there is some issue with the spark plug, then also you may get low mileage. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If there are some, or let me take, there are some mechanical problems. Yes or no? So your service center guy, that technician will check this, like he will check the engine tuning, he'll check the tire pressure, he'll ask you whether you are maintaining proper tire pressure or not, right? And he'll check if there are any mechanical problems, mechanical issues in any part of the engine, right? So so what is he trying to find out? Is trying to find out the root cause of the issue, root cause of the low mileage. What exactly is causing low mileage, right? So the same way here, any software, if it is not right? So uncover what components of an application suffer poor performance, means which parts of the application are performing poorly and under what conditions, right? Whether with expected user load or unexpected user load and all, right? More than expected user load and all, or whether it is during a particular day time of a day, or whether it is throughout the day or not, right? So this is called this is called as performance engineering, right? To find out what components are of an application suffer poor performance and under what conditions, right? So to do this activity also, we have to do this performance testing. Clear, guys? What you will do here, guys, when you get a low mileage, what you will do, or if you take it to the service center, if you complain that instead of 50 kilometers, I am getting only 20 or 25, very low mileage, let's assume, right? So what does they do, guys? First, they will see if there are any mechanical issues, engine tuning issues, if the engine beating is faster, if the tire pressure is low, right? And they will keep some 250 ml of fuel or 1 liter fuel, and they will ask you to check the mileage next time. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? So what are they trying to find there? Like that, trying to find out what is the root cause of that. What is causing the low mileage, right? So in the same way, in software also, whenever there is some issue in the software in some application, right? So it can be because of multiple reasons. So to find out what exactly is the reason, so we do this performance testing. That is another scenario for doing, another reason for doing performance testing for a newly built application, right? And find any performance bottlenecks or performance issues. The same, I explained the same thing. Find any performance bottlenecks means performance issues. Okay. And support system tuning. And to support system tuning also, we do performance testing. Let's relate this example to the same thing. So what does he do here? Like he will tune the engine. If the engine beating is faster, he will make it slow, right? At the same time, it should not be so slow that when the engine is in ideal state, engine should not be stopped. Yes or no? So engine beating baga tagiste whenever you are idle, means whenever you are you stopped the driving, it should not stop, right? Engine should not stop. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? He should give a proper tuning of the engine. He should be a proper tuning of the engine to get the better performance from the vehicle, right? So in the same way, this is system tuning. What is system tuning? Application tuning is nothing but using appropriate software configuration to get the better performance from the application, right? So that is called as system tuning. Suppose there is some web application whose performance is not good. Application undi, like assume any application, for example, I'll take Heritage Supermarket. Okay, so previously there was very low set of users were using this Heritage Heritage Fresh website, for example, right? But after lockdown, during the pandemic, many people started using this online website, and so during pandemic initially, whenever I try to use this, so it used to not work. Page load ayed kaadu. You got it?
Yes.
Right? Because there are more number of users now than before, right? Application was designed to support some set of users, some n number of users, but now number of users has increased to 2n and 3n, 2 times 3 times bigger users during this pandemic. Yes or no? And if you use this Heritage Fresh website anytime, did anyone use this during the pandemic time, guys, to order some groceries or something? So still it is not working. See here, we are improving some features for you. Till then, please try us on your mobile devices. So still the performance is not improved. You got it? So what they are doing now, they are trying to improve the performance. You can see here, we are improving some features for you. Till then, please try us on your mobile devices, right? So they are tuning the performance of the application. Inka ekkum number of to make the application support more number of users and to get better performance. Now the website is not working actually. You can't see anything here. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Why? The reason is why? Because before this COVID, there are less number of users, very less number of users. This application is developed with, the user load at that time before COVID. But after pandemic, like we have more number of online users. That's why this application is unable to support the new users, right? That's why it is down now. They are working on that, still working on that. I think, see, I observed this like 2 to 3 months back. Still they are working on that, improving the performance. So what they are doing, basically they are trying to improve the performance of this application, right? So this is called as system tuning the application performance. That is called as system tuning. So to perform this system tuning also, we do performance testing. I'll stop it here, guys. We'll continue from tomorrow. So is it clear, guys? Any queries in this, whatever we discussed today? Tomorrow we'll discuss what are the prerequisites for performance testing and what are the different types of performance testing, right? Another important concept and interesting concept in performance testing. So what are the different types of performance testing and which applications require what type of testing, right? We'll understand that. And followed by, we'll have some assessment also. Once I explain these different types of testing, I'll show you some graphs and I'll ask you what type of testing is this. So you should be able to tell that like after the tomorrow's session. All right. So any queries before we close the session for today over this in this concept?
Kishore, I have one query. Since we are discussing about the goals and performance testing, I have related to that. I have one query. Like in performance testing, the role is only we have to find any defects in performance testing, or we have to resolve the defects.
Okay, good question. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. So there are different types of roles in performance. Okay, so performance testing and performance engineering. All right, you might have heard this term, performance testing and performance engineering. Yes or no? So this explains you what is the difference between performance testing and performance engineering. So performance testing is nothing but identifying bottlenecks of an application. Okay, identifying bottlenecks of an application means scripting, executions, and finding out the defects. That is performance testing. That is defined as performance testing. So it depends on company to company. Like junior resources will be involved in till this analysis and reporting. Means till the scripting, executions, and reporting, junior resources will be involved. Got it? Our performance testers will be involved. Now going forward, right? So once the defects are identified, someone has to fix those defects, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
that is called as performance engineering. Identifying defects is performance testing, and fixing those defects is called performance engineering. So performance engineering deals with not only identifying bottlenecks, but also providing resolution and eliminating the performance issues. So here senior team members will be involved. Mostly like 3+ years experience guys or team lead, project leads will be involved here. And these are the roles and responsibilities for performance engineers, right? Analysis and recommendations and identifying and fixing the performance bottlenecks.
Okay.
So these would be the roles and responsibilities of performance engineer. So performance tester, performance engineer. You got it. Based on the experience, like you will be assigned to some roles and responsibilities.
Okay, Kishore. You got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other queries before we close the session for today? So when you see any job description, right, they will mention like what exactly they are looking, whether they are looking for a performance tester or whether they are looking for performance engineering role, right? Or both. Sometimes it may be both, like you have to do both testing and you have to do from scratch this requirement gathering, test plan preparation, scripting, executions, reporting, and also identifying, fixing the performance bottlenecks. So some JDs will be like that, like both they'll say like we need both, someone who can do both performance testing and engineering also, right? So or else generally, but however generally like up to 3 years what they will see is like if you are good in requirement gathering, test plan preparation, scripting, executions, and reporting, that is enough up to 3 years experience. Understood?
Okay.
Yeah. So if you don't have any other queries, I'll stop it for today, guys. Okay. I'm stopping it. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for watching. And so let me do some self promotion here. So please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel to get more, such demo sessions and updates. All right. And click bell icon to go and to turn on all notifications. Have a nice day.